Thank you, Kirsty, for doing such a great job keeping us all in line. I really appreciate it. Also to Stewie and the Tribeca gang for putting on this conference. Really great effort, and it's a pleasure to be here today. Certainly been a journey for us, been a very interesting journey in a very short space of time. Before I begin, maybe just a quick snapshot of Kali, who we are. We're a lithium exploration company. We began the journey in sort of early January 23, sorry, and in January the 5th of this year, we listed on the IPO. Probably the first, not probably, the first IPO listing on the ASX exchange. So we came about by the formation of the lithium assets from Kalamazoo Resources and Karora Resources, Karora being a TSX listed company, Kalamazoo being an ASX listed company. As I said, the journey started in early 23, 24 we listed, we raised some $15 million at 25 cents. We were heavily oversubscribed. We opened and closed that offer within a matter of hours. So as I said, now we look to put that 15 million to work very quickly. So just quickly on this, obligatory disclaimer, urge you to read. Really, we need something to sort of stand out, make Kali stand out. What's the one thing or two or three things that are going to get you interested in this Kali story? Well, firstly, we have a massive land position. We have some 4,000 square kilometres of land tied up in 3 major project areas. Give you an idea of what that means, that's about 5 times the size of Singapore. So it's a big chunk of land out there, and it gives us optionality. 2 of our 3 projects are in the hottest lithium provinces in Australia, both in the Pilbara and down south in Eastern Goldfields. Our 3rd project is over on the east coast in the Lachlan Fold Belt. As I said, following that IPO, we had the funds. We're fully funded for 2 years of exploration. And pre and post IPO, we had a number of partners and key investors. And certainly we had our SQM JV, where they have the opportunity to acquire 70% of 2 of our 3 Pilbara projects by spending $12 million over 4 years. So that's, and then post IPO, we're very fortunate to bring Mineral Resources onto the register at 14%. And we certainly have the team. We have this great team, both at a board level and also exploration. I know people talk about everyone's got a great team, but I'll tell you the secret of any successful company, and that is that team has to be willing to go out there and put everything on the line to make things happen for the investors. And I believe our board and our executive team certainly have that. Very quickly, a snapshot on our, just a corporate view, if you like. 144 million shares on issue, market cap of around $60 million, EV of around $45 million. Major shareholders, Karora, who was, as I said, partly due to forming Kali, 22%, Kalamazoo 20%, and then Mineral Resources with 14%. Board and management have around 11% on a fully diluted basis, and the top 20 own 71% of our register. Board, very solid board, very solid exploration, executive team, as I said. Board's led by Luke Reiner, and a lot of people may know Luke in this audience. The 3 assets themselves, there they are. On the left is our Higginsville, middle Pilbara, and then Lachlan Fold Belt. Higginsville, as you can see, lots of pretty colours up there, divided into 8 areas because it's such a very large tenement package. It's some 1,500 square kilometres of tenements. We had to divide that up into 8 areas so we can make exploration more efficient, which we only worked on now so far 2 of those projects, one up in the top of that up there called Spargoville, and just south of that is our 2nd project area called Widgie-Miltha. That area there, those tenements completely surrounded by existing mines and advanced lithium projects. To the north you have Mount Marion, over to the east over here you have Bald Hill. Down south, Buldania, also Mineral Resources acquired 100% of Pantoro's tenement lithium rights down here. Pioneer Dome, both Mount Marion and Bald Hill operating processing plants as we speak. The others are certainly well advanced, including up north of Bald Hill being the Manna deposit. So as I said, completely surrounded. We're a bit like Custer as it was in The Last Stand, surrounded by Indians, and I'm telling you, this is going to be a great story when we start putting some drills in the ground, and I'll talk about those in a moment. Pilbara, 3 project areas up there: Doms Hill, Pear Creek, and then Marble Bar. Doms Hill, Marble Bar are subject to that SQM JV, surrounded by very good infrastructure, only an hour from Port Hedland. And the same as here, we're very good infrastructure in and around Higginsville. So when we start talking start-up mining and those sort of things, then it's very quickly, very simple process for us to do so. Our third project, emerging province over here in the Lachlan Fold Belt, we have 2 areas: Jingellic in New South Wales, Talangata in Victoria. Again, a big area, 2,000 square kilometres. A bit more on the projects themselves. Well, Higginsville up here, this is our first area we've gone into. We did some surface work, some field work, we rock chips, we've done some soil samples, and we announced sort of around a month ago this very large anomaly, and sitting over the top of that is some big numbers around the rock chips, around 5% lithium oxide. The most important thing about this is they coincide sitting on top of this soil anomaly. As Christy pointed out, we made an announcement this morning, and part of that was in fact to see those anomalies start to expand quite considerably. If I go back to that first one, you can see over here what was just a bullseye, a hot spot over here, very small surface soil program was put over that. It lit up. We had some good chip samples here, but now when you start seeing that, you can start to see all up. Those 2 anomalies are about 5 kilometres in length. So these we're not talking sort of small size, these are serious sort of targets for us. We'll look to start drilling in early, probably this first half of this year. In fact, given the results of this, we'll bring that drilling on a lot earlier as soon as we can. Again, we've expanded our soils program to cover this and all the other remaining 6 project areas at Higginsville. At Widgie, another sort of significant anomaly sits there, over 900 metres long. It's only sort of about 20 k's from Spargoville, so it's very close. Again, good numbers, plus 2% rock chips, again correlates well with the soils. Mount Henry, early days, 1% down there of initial rock chips, so tells us we're in the right area. Pilbara, as I said before, 2 of our projects, this one here, subject to SQM JV. All the money that we raise from that IPO will predominantly go into Higginsville and a little bit over to the Lachlan Fold Belt. This is fully funded by SQM. So we manage the project, but we are fully funded by SQM for the next couple of years there. They've currently earned around 30% by spending some $2.5 million. Close to some major mines in there. This is really the land of, what I call the land of the giants. It's the big deposits up here. We've seen Pilgangora up there, we've seen Wodgina up there, sort of 300 and 250 million tonnes, those sort of numbers. So this is big country up here, and we sit dead smack in the middle of it. So looking forward to doing some more work up there. We've done some sort of surface work in and around here. We've done some small drill programs up here. The results of our latest geochem will come out shortly. And some of this field work down here has been along the lines of surface rock chip samples and looking at a lot of those outcropping pegmatites. There's one in particular that goes around 1.2 kilometres long, and I think there's about 4 samples spreading over somewhere between 2 and 2.8%. So looking forward to doing more work up there, and our geologists, I know our geologists are quite excited. Lachlan Fold Belt, as I said, emerging, new province. Look, all I can say is that we've been fortunate. We've been in there first. We're the second company up there. We've been able to pick up a lot of ground up there, over 2,000 square kilometres. That blue area you see up here is recently added to the Jingellic. It now makes all those boundaries contiguous. We've done some soil work and we've done some rock chips up there. We've certainly seen that there's LCT pegmatites up there. It's now, we'll do a bit more soils. We put a hole in there and we hit what we think we might hit, then I'm telling you this is going to be the next lithium hotspot in Australia. We will see a mini rush into this particular area. So still early days, but hugely exciting for the company. So look, I'm very, very conscious of Christy. She's got this vicious bump if I was to step over the mark. I'm going to finish early. I'm going to make sure that I don't get that bump or get bumped off. But the key takeaways to this, as I said to you, there's no other company in Australia that has the land package we have. It is such a big land package. It gives us optionality around exploration. It gives us optionality where we put our people, our best resources. And at the moment, Higginsville appears to take that point, mainly because that's where most of our funding will go. We are well funded, 2 years fully funded for the next lot of exploration. We have delivered results. We will continue to deliver the results, as you can see from that last ASX announcement, and we have the team. So given those things, the asset, the team and the funds, that's not a bad start. And I think in a very short space of time, I hope to be standing up here, tell you that we've drilled a hole and we've been highly successful and a lot of money to investors' pockets. So thank you very much.